So, very, very exciting call tonight. So, here is Bia Corey speaking, but it's not about me tonight on the call. It's actually quite a very impressive subject we have tonight. And I don't know about you, but I think it happens to everybody. If not, we are not human, that we have some challenges from time to time, and we need to overcome obstacles. And the quicker we learn that life is not meant to be easy, that's just part of the game, let me put it that way, the easier it will be for you in the future to succeed in private life, in business life, in everything basically. So tonight is not just about Herbalife challenges, it's actually about life challenges. And I'm very, very excited about the two we have today who are presenting because I know they have overcome quite a few obstacles already in their life. And this is why they are on such a success role, basically. The one is on her way, qualifying soon to supervisor. She started actually on the products, lost more than 15 kilos in the meantime. From a non-believer that Herbalife won't work for her, she is now an absolute believer and is excited about the products and her results, and also excited about helping other people to lose weight, look better, and have lots of energy. And this is our senior consultant, Estelle Gerber. So welcome to Estelle. Woo! And then we have our brand new supervisor on the call. I actually gave her a call and said, congratulations to your supervisor qualification. Why didn't you tell me? And she said, yeah, I'm not qualified yet. So I needed actually all my expression to explain here. I can see that you're qualified, just believe me, till she finally freaked out on the telephone, and still she can't believe it. She's qualified to supervisor. And this is actually the most beautiful qualification when you're not focused on your own success, when you focus on your customer success, on your member success, and then success just happens automatically to you. Like Jim Rohn always liked to say, if you help enough people to achieve what they want to achieve, you achieve automatically what you want to achieve. But now, without any further ado, I hand over to the incredible Estelle and Taryn to tell us more. How can we develop ourselves to overcome obstacles and just move forward and succeed in life, in business, in everything? So over to you, Taryn and Estelle.
Bia, can you just change the slides, please? Bia, can you hear me?
Coming. So I have here the introduction to Taryn, that you see Taryn, and we see Estelle's before and after.
It's not after, it's still in progress.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, the next one, please, Bia. Okay, so I just want to start off with a little quote that I saw. Think big, dream big, believe big, and your results will be big. Now, I do not know who that's from, but I think that is quite important in this day and age. If you don't think big and you don't dream big, your results are going to be small. So, yeah. Bia, if you can just go to the next one, please. So I want to start off with, why is personal development important? Personal development is important to create self-awareness, so you can learn who you really are, what your values are, what your beliefs are, and what your purpose are. It gives you a sense of direction. Once you have raised your self-awareness, you are clearer on the things you wish to achieve from life, and you can make better, I believe you can make better goals for yourself. It also gives you improved focus and effectiveness. Improved focus and effectiveness comes with knowing and playing to your strengths. So once you know what your strengths are, you can actually basically do anything that you really want to. It gives you more motivation. If you can see a clearer, better benefit, you are most motivated to take the necessary action. It gives you greater resilience. You will have greater confidence, resilience, personal and interpersonal skills. And also with that, it will give you, I'm not really sure of the English word, but it will give you, I don't know what the word is.
Endurance.
Okay. Can
Yeah.
Thank you, Taryn. Endurance. It will also give you fulfilling relationships where you develop the skills to make the most of have the most positive impact on your life. Is that my phone?
I'll just mute the others. Just continue. I think it's from another phone.
Hello, Bia. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very loud and clear. It's good. You go, Estelle.
Bia. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. All good.
Okay. Can you carry on to the next slide, please? Then we've got a quote from Confucius. Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. Next, please, Bia. So how do we overcome the obstacles that life throws at us? It's not always easy, but I've just taken a few things that we can do and keep in the back of our mind. Number one is seek guidance. Take the time to speak to other people. You are not the only person that has ever had to overcome a specific obstacle. The people
I think Estelle has a problem with her line.
I might come up with a solution
Estelle?
that you have never thought about.
Estelle?
Assess your obstacles. Figure out a solution as to how to make sure you hear me. Bia, can you hear me?
You're breaking up. I call you.
Bia, can you hear me?
Just pick up your phone, please. Speak now.
Can you hear me?
Speak with your phone.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Wait, I get you here on loudspeaker. Speak now.
Wait. I need to get. Can we maybe get Taryn to do her side? I need to get my computer out.
Can't you see my computer?
I was looking from
Can't
my
you
phone.
see the screen?
I can't hear you. Sorry?
Can't you see the screen from your presentation?
No, I was looking at my phone at the presentation on my phone, but now when you phone me, I can't see the presentation. So I just need to get my computer quickly.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
I'll just get to use. Taryn, are you ready? Let us you start. Your microphone is open, Taryn.
It's open. Can you go back to my first slide, please?
Sorry.
Okay. So good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share some of my insights of how I've been able to live despite life's challenges, obstacles, and struggles. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wonderful. So I don't want to survive, I want to live. I chose this quote because for a long time, I was merely surviving. And for me, that meant that I was just managing to deal with life's challenges, just managing to keep my head above water, just managing to muster up a smile when my own world was crumbling, and just managing to live. And I came to a point in my life where just managing was no longer good enough. I wanted to learn how to truly live, to be able to smile and have it come from a real place of joy. Sure, I'm a bit emotional. To be able to like an eagle soar above the storms of life. Not that I was going to be in denial of my challenges, but I wanted to find a way to not allow those challenges to rob me of the opportunity to live my best life. And so tonight, I just want to share some of what has worked for me. Different things work for different people, but I really hope that some of what I share would add some value to you tonight. Next slide, please. Challenges are universal. Challenges, I have learned, is no respecter of persons. It doesn't matter if you are from Bishop's Lavis or Bishop's Court, if you are a senior consultant, or if you are on the president's team. Each of us at some time in our lives experience a measure of good days. There will be good days and there will be bad days. And it was really this realization that helped me to better manage life. Understanding that I was a human being on planet Earth, and being a human, with being a human being comes some great moments and comes some not so great moments. And when I began to accept this fact, it allowed me to decide, well, if this was the case, instead of feeling sorry for myself, I wanted to come up with a plan to better help me navigate the rough waters of this journey called life. Next one, please. So, develop the art of gratitude. Learn to be thankful for what you already have while you pursue all that you want. So when challenges hit, there is a natural human tendency to focus on all that is wrong, all that we don't have. And I certainly fell into that trap. And it was really on the 6-day breakfast challenge that I was introduced to this idea of being grateful for what I had. And so I began to count my blessings, focus on things that I was grateful for, from the most basic things to such as my health, my mental health, that I wasn't on chronic medication, that I had food every day, that I had a roof over my head, that I had clothes, that I had solid friendships, that I had the Herbalife family, and the support that that brings to me. And it was when I began to make this list that I realized how much I actually had in my life. And I just want to use an example of last week. My car had to go in for repairs, and it cost me quite a pretty penny. And there was a real moment of distress at having to pay this money because I couldn't afford to pay it. But then I began to shift my focus from feeling despair and despondent to being grateful. And I said, well, I am grateful that I have the money to pay for this car. Had I not had the money, the car scenario would have been much worse, and I wouldn't be able to fix it, and I'd be sitting without a car. It also made me realize how grateful I am for the Herbalife business and the extra income that this was able to generate to cover some of the financial holes that I experienced. And I did some research, and studies revealed that those who kept gratitude journals showed a greater increase in determination, enthusiasm, optimism, energy, and attention. And I've really seen the power of gratitude in my own life. So I want to challenge you tonight and ask you to ask yourself, what is it that you are grateful for? Next slide, please. Okay. Extend yourself to another in need. The strongest people make time to help others, even if they're struggling with their own personal demons. Again, challenges cause us to think inwardly, and we become so focused on ourselves and the problem that we don't allow anything else in. And often we wonder, what is my purpose in this world? Why do I even exist? And sadly for many, they say, why should I even exist? And this has been in my industry a huge cause of suicidal behavior, and people end their lives because there's no sense of meaning. And I have to say to you that the art of extending myself is really something that I learned from my late father as I watched him extend himself to homeless people in a time that he was struggling with his own stuff. And you may say, well, I don't have the money to do anything for anybody. But I've realized that extending yourself to another human being has nothing to do with money. You could invest your time, you could invest your energy. And I often think of that we need to be more aware of people around us and their pain. We become so focused on our own pain. And it could be a phone call, it could be a WhatsApp, it could be you pick up a desperate mother's child one day and say, let me take your children to the park while you catch up on sleep. And this creates a sense of meaning and purpose in the world. And research again reveals that volunteering increases your sense of well-being and it also increases your happiness. Challenge point. Who can you extend yourself to today? Next quote, please. This is a very powerful one and close to my heart. Change your words, change your thoughts. Be careful how you are talking to yourself because you are listening. So for me, during challenging times, there was a tendency to engage in negative self-talk. I can't do anything right. Negative self-beliefs. Things will never change. Comparison syndrome. Comparison syndrome is when we compare ourselves to another human being to the extent that we feel less than. Things like everyone else is moving forward while I am standing still. And all of these things, negative self-talk, negative beliefs, comparison syndrome, they are counterproductive. They do not serve us. They are demotivating and they debilitate us. And this is where we really become stuck. During challenging times, our minds and our thoughts and our words are our most powerful thing, but they are also our most dangerous weapon if we don't know how to use it. So when, for example, you compare yourselves to others all the time, you become so focused on what they are doing that you forget that you have your own unique journey, that you have your own unique strengths, because we're so focused on the other. In psychology, we say that our thoughts affect our emotions and our emotions affect our behavior. So example, I used to say, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. I've changed my words and I say now instead, I say, I am not where I want to be, but I am working towards it. The challenge point for you tonight is write down 5 negative statements that you say to yourself, and then turn those negative statements into 5 positive statements. Next slide, please. Pity party, my 5-minute pity party. Let your tears come, let them water your soul. Tears have often been, people have often said that tears is a sign of weakness. And I'm here to tell you tonight that they are absolutely not a sign of weakness. Our tears is a sign that we are human, and it's a normal human response. Our pain demands to be felt. In my industry, when people suppress their pain, it manifests in the most dysfunctional behaviors. So I have my 5-minute pity party. But what I do is I invite my tears in for a cup of tea. And I take a moment to listen to the words of my tears. What is it that my tears are telling me? What emotions do I need to release? Why am I crying? What is so painful? What changes do I need to make in my life? What do I need to add? What do I need to remove? So I want you to take a moment that when you feel the need to cry, to allow that emotion to be released and allow it to refresh you, to gain perspective and to give you the strength to move forward. I found this quote after I sent you the presentation. It says, don't forget that you are human. It's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't unpack and live there. Cry it out and then refocus on where you are headed. Your challenge point tonight is, what can I learn from my tears? Remember your why. Stop getting distracted by things that have nothing to do with your goals. During challenging times, it's easy to lose sight of why you do what you do, to become distracted by the petty things that have absolutely nothing to do with your goals, with your why. And I think often we use these distractions as excuses. I cannot because I have no money. I cannot because I feel down. I cannot because I'm not in a good space. But when we remind ourselves of our why, then we automatically found ways that enable us to say, I can instead of I can't. Allow your why to reignite you during challenging times. Allow your why to drive you during challenging times. Your challenge point. Remind yourself of what your why is. Personal development. Invest in yourself in ways that allow you to not crumble under life's challenges. So for me, I had to develop a personal strategy which strengthens my ability to better manage during the not so good days. And my advice to you is don't wait for the bad days. Develop that strategy now. Find out what works for you. Find out what lifts you up from that very dark pit. And for me, some of the things that work for me is my deep faith that keeps me grounded. Faith looks different for everybody. My healthy eating plan, my exercise. I want to say to you that a healthy body carries a healthy mind. And when we are physically healthy, I think that we're able to better manage life's challenges. Surround yourself with positive people. The Herbalife business meetings have really been my injection of inspiration. This Saturday at the BBS, arrived with my own challenges, but just being there, I walked out a very, very different person. I had to learn to find out what my weaker areas were. And for me, that was things like time management, organizational skills. So strengthen and develop those weak areas so that they're strong. See the challenge as an opportunity, not as an obstacle. So when I see this challenge coming on, I become invigorated, I become inspired. I no longer see it as a bad thing. I ask myself, what can I learn? How can I develop from this challenge? So your challenge is, how can I develop personally in order to better manage my challenges? And they do not give up. Giving up is simply not an option. So thoughts of giving up are very, very, very common during challenging times. And again, negative self-talk such as, what's the point? Why bother pursuing my goals? And for me, I needed to consider what the alternatives were to giving up. And I want to relate this section especially to the Herbalife business. And for me, if I decided to give up, this would be the alternatives. I would not fulfill my passion to help people live a healthier life and change the world. I would not fulfill my heart's desire to gain financial freedom and develop my international business. I would not provide my son with opportunity. I would not be able to provide others with the opportunity to gain all of the above. And these were alternatives that I am not prepared to entertain. So if something is not working in your business or it's not going as planned, assess it and make the necessary changes or adjustments. Or simply, as I have learned, be patient and confident that the seeds that you are sowing will bear fruit in due season. But whatever you do, do not give up. Challenge. Remind yourself of why giving up for you is not an option. And the last, yes. I think in my time of challenges, and as I sit here tonight, I continue to go through challenges, but what it has done for me is you have two choices in this world. You can allow your challenges to keep you on the ground like a turkey, or you can allow the pain to be the wind underneath your wings and you can soar like an eagle. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, ambition inspired, and success achieved. A quote by Helen Keller, who was a blind woman and achieved much greatness. And that's it from me. Thank you.
Absolutely stunning, Karen. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry that it was a little bit of struggle with the connection with Estelle, but I was in the meantime communicating with her also time-wise. We just have Estelle's part next Monday, so we go into another personal development session because I find it's very, very important. Jim Rohn always said, the harder you work on yourself, the more you become. And that's very, very important. So work harder on yourself than in your job, basically. Sometimes we try to make the best presentation, but the best presentation comes actually with you, the way you are and who you are. So Taryn, this was very, very powerful. So thank you for that. Thank you already in advance also for Estelle for preparing herself. I want to open up for a couple of questions. Not many know that Taryn actually has a psychological background, so it's maybe quite important. If you have a specific question to her, just open up now your microphone and ask her a question, or if you have any comment to her. Miloska, I can see you opened up just now.
Yeah, I have a question.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Hello.
Hi. Well done. That was amazing. Really helpful. I was taking pictures and I'm going to send it to my team that are not on this call. I just wanted to find out from you, when you say personal development, what do you do as for personal development? Because I always find it interesting to hear different people's takes on what that is for them. I know that you mentioned your faith, which for me is also a big thing. And I feel like that's something that for me also really centers me and grounds me and gives me hope and all that stuff. But what would you give us as pointers to do for personal development, or what do you do that you find works best? Also because you come from a psychology background, so I would love to hear your input from that perspective. Yeah, that's my question.
Yes, and I want to say that personal development is not a destination. One never arrives. So it is a continuous process of constantly developing. I think we come into this world flawed. We come into this world with imperfections, and we all have different imperfections. And I think we come here to learn to become the best version of ourselves. And in order for me to have done that, Miloska, I had to take off my mask. We all wear a wonderful mask of perfection. And I needed to look in the mirror and say, well, what is it that Taryn needs to work on? What is it about the other person that rubs Taryn up the wrong way? But it's really Taryn's issue, not the other person's issue. And being in my industry, it is expected of us that as we develop other people in this area, that we do the work of ourselves as well. And so, other than, I think there isn't, you would need to go and look in that mirror and find out what it is that you need to work on. And I've learned that the answers do come when we ask it.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. And that's why for everyone, it looks differently. Personal development looks different. But it also needs to be a commitment to the process. And and it's a painful process, the molding of character.
Yeah, I hear you. Awesome, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your answer.
Okay, do we have another question? Did that help, Miloska?
Yeah, no, I agree with her, because I feel like, especially as well, I was just thinking how as you go through the motions and you go up in levels, how things become different challenges for you. In the beginning, it's a challenge of how do I get a customer? Then the next thing, it's a challenge of how do I get a friend to join my vision? And then how do I get them to be successful? So I do agree that there's a lot of things that, and as you grow, you knock walls in yourself and you realize, oh, I might not have the best skills communicating with people or whatever it is. So I definitely agree that, especially in this business, because it's a development business, it's not like, oh, I get to this level and then I'm done. Like, there's a consistent level of growth in everything that we do, and it's the beauty of the business, but it's also the uncomfortable part of it, is that you can never go, oh, okay, I'm done. Like, I can just sit back now and watch it work on its own. We every single day, me and FCA are like facing new things within ourselves and within our business and our team and everything that we have to learn to overcome and handle the best. Yeah, that really was an awesome answer, and I do agree that you never really finished. But you don't want to be either, because your life gets boring if you're just sitting back.
And could I say one more thing, that as we climb the marketing ladder, I think that one needs to become even more humble.
Yes.
You know, that it doesn't go to the head.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I just need to plug in my laptop.
Beautiful. Let me check one more question. Do we have more questions? Okay, then I just want to finish off by saying a big thank you to Taryn, and again to Estelle for preparing, Taryn for presenting, and Estelle we will have next Monday. I don't want to close the call without reminding you to our amazing, amazing presentations. And this is also part of a little bit personal development, to be always informed. So part of personal development is Herbalife is your business, part-time or full-time. You have certain goals, so you need to be informed. You cannot wait that your sponsor always informs you about everything and tracks everything for you. You become an independent businesswoman or businessman, or you are it already. So please have always a look. On a Friday, you get an email from Herbalife, which gives you all the actual promotions. And the promotions are there to help you to develop your business. So this is such an amazing tool to help your members, to help yourself, to find the goals. So if you struggle to find the right goals to move forward, this is always like the next little carrot we go for. And while we are aiming to achieve these promotions, believe it or not, you go for the next level, marketing plan level. So this is why you should be always, always aware. So look at these promotions. All of you who are on the call can achieve that. So please make sure that you understand them. If you don't understand them, to question them, to talk to your sponsor, to your upline, to really know that you can get it and how you can get it. It's not easy, but everything what you don't care about, you will not achieve. So you need to pay attention to the details as well. The same is with our Club 500 Plus, the Club 1000 Plus, the Club 500 Plus is for all members, the Club 1000 Plus is for all the supervisors. Have it in front of you, read it, understand it, and go each month for it. I mean, they are fantastic, phenomenal prices, like, for example, a branded jacket or a Tanita scale, things like that you always wanted to have. So really valuable gifts. So go for it. And then obviously the most important, what I don't want to forget to remind you, is our extravaganza coming up on the 13th till the 15th of October. Yeah, Miloska. And all of us should be, yeah, we should be there. And so the extravaganza is our biggest annual event. Now, Taryn was talking about personal development, and Miloska was just talking about that, hey, the bigger the check, the bigger the income, I have the feeling I have bigger challenges. And this is what I learned in the early days. Small income, small challenges, big income, bigger challenges. So invite actually the bigger challenges, but how you learn to deal with it. This is basically where you find leader and future leaders at the extravaganza, people who want to develop themselves, people who want to learn more. The more you learn, the more you earn. And this is when you look a little bit always in the first row or at the round tables, you see the people always sitting there taking notes and all of that stuff. Why do people who are like me, 23 years in the business, take all the time notes? Why am I going now to Madrid and then going to South African extravaganza? Shouldn't I know all the things? No, things changes all the time. And I think the longer you are in the business, the more open you are and willing to learn. And this is the exciting part, when you adapt very quickly and say, I want to learn, I want to become better. And this is why we go to the extravaganza. The most incredible leaders are coming. We get Dr. David Heber there, the head actually of our board of all the medical doctors we have. It's absolutely amazing. We have leaders from the UK coming over explaining us how they have such a success. So this is really an event you should not miss out. And rather work harder to have more members with you at that event. And Doris, I can understand if you fly all the way to Germany just to be with us at the South African Extravaganza. We welcome you, because lots of people from all over the world, if you believe it or not, know that South Africa is on the move, and they want to learn the same what we are learning. They want to copy the South African success. So it's stupid not to be at the South African Extravaganza, where you can become a copycat. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, but we need to be there where the success is to start to copy success. So just in order of that, all members can go to the South African Extravaganza. There is a special section on Friday afternoon for all supervisors. So Taryn, brand new supervisor, congratulations, and all the brand new supervisors who are just now on the call. Please remember, you have already Friday afternoon a session, and an active World Team and Tap Team session is on Friday morning, and Saturday, Sunday is open for everybody. And then we have a special gala dinner qualification as well. As I said earlier on, get your email every Friday, check it out. You get an email from Herbalife, read it, look through it. This is information for you, which might be important information for your customers. There might be important information about products, and there might be important information for promotions where you can earn extra things, extra money, extra gifts, just by doing the right thing at the right time. So without any further ado, I just look at one sentence who is there on my desk, and I have little quotes all around me, in my purse, on my mirror, in the bathroom, everywhere. It's part of my personal development. And one of these sentences, which is looking at me right now, and I think it's actually appropriate to say that in closing, and saying thank you to Taryn again and to Estelle. And the sentence is, life is a gift, and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and the responsibility to give something back by becoming more. So congratulations to each one of you to commit yourself for this half an hour in order to become more, to learn more, to give back to others as well. So thank you very much. Have an awesome, awesome evening. All focus group people, we meet right after this call now, just on the other link we dial in. And you all have an awesome, awesome week. Great September. Let's really rock it in this September. Bye-bye.
Bye.